Hello, everybody. It's Thursday, Parshas Bahar B'Chukaisai. Mr. Hashem, today we're going to wrap up this segment, which has been dealing with the Erev Shabbos preparations. Before I begin, I just want to give a shout out and a thank you to those who send me follow-up texts with questions on the share. It's good to know that there are some people that are taking it seriously and want to know, and it means a lot to me to know that there are people paying attention and people listening to what I have to say. I hope that you and others are finding this to be meaningful and gainful. So the last couple of things I want to talk about with Erev Shabbos preparations is a couple of short things. Number one, people that are tea drinkers, people that like to drink tea, should make sure to prepare tea scents before Shabbos. You take a couple of bags and put in, half a cup of hot water to make that strong concentrate of tea. And then on Shabbos, you can have your tea by taking some hot water from the urn and just pouring from that tea essence into your cup of hot water, and that's how you could have tea on Shabbos. Now, I am aware that there are those that are lenient to make tea in a kli shlishi, putting a tea bag into a kli shlishi. And I am aware that is the opinion of Moshe Feinstein, but I will tell you that unless you happen to be like from Moshe Feinstein's family, or that's your family minhag, the minhag in Klal Yisrael, the accepted halacha in Klal Yisrael, is that you cannot make tea with tea bags, even if it's a kli shlishi or a kli revi or even 100 kalim. You cannot use tea bags to make tea on Shabbos, and therefore one should definitely, if you plan on having tea, you should definitely prepare the tea scents before Shabbos by making that concentrate. So that's number one. Number two, many say a Rabbi Shalom, on Friday night before the Suda. One of the things that we say is, command your angels, the Malachei Hasharis, Misharsei Elyon, that they should give me a bracha. Why? Because I have lit my neirs, and I have spread out or prepared my beds, and I've changed my clothing for the honor of Shabbos. So we see from over here that one of the preparations that a person should do for Shabbos is to make sure that the linens are all spread out. The Shabbos comes, it shouldn't be like unmade beds. Everything should be made, and in a broader sense, the house should be neat. Look up at Shabbos. The bed's freshly made, the floors swept. It's supposed to be, when Shabbos comes, as if you have a chashuva visitor coming, which in truth you have. The Shabbos queen is coming, and the house should look accordingly. So one last preparation is to make sure that everything is done, not to have a situation where you bench lift and then all of a sudden you start cleaning up and making and then you'll clear all the stuff off the table. You just make sure that the muksa is away, and then start sweeping up, and then setting the table. The table should be set, the bed should be made, and it's also a good inyan as far as chinuch, and chinuch is not just for children, but chinuch is for yourself as well, to have the Shabbos table really set even earlier on Friday afternoon, maybe even on Thursday night. It shows an anticipation of Shabbos, which makes an indelible impression upon yourself, but more importantly on your kids, that you see that you're anticipating Shabbos, you're excited for Shabbos to come. So those are the two things that we're discussing today. And I want to also just reiterate what I said in the beginning of this segment, which is that it is important for everybody to have a pre-Shabbos checklist. We've been going through all the items that could potentially be on your pre-Shabbos checklist, but you have to have a checklist. If you do not have a checklist, two things are going to happen. Number one is that inevitably you're going to sometimes forget something, but also you're going to spend time on Erev Shabbos constantly going over and over in your mind, did I do this, did I do that? Where if you have a checklist, you can just go through it. Okay, I did that, that I still have to do. So it's very kedai to have a pre-Shabbos checklist. Again, I hope that you've found this to be informative and entertaining and enjoyable and gainful. And Mr. Hashem, next week we'll move on to another segment in Hilchos Shabbos. Everybody should have a wonderful Shabbos.